Hello, Jennifer.
How are you doing?
Good. A little warm.
A little warm, yeah. It's better than being warm and without power. Hopefully, did you lose power?
We did not.
Oh, phew.
Well, briefly, but not. There was a tree down on Pleasant Valley Road, and once they got that pulled off, it was over.
Yeah, oh, good.
How about you guys?
No, we did not, thank goodness.
Yeah.
How else is everything going? Is your Airbnb, is it up and running? And
Well, yeah, Judy's she keeps our house full. This last couple of days we've had 3 bedrooms full of people.
oh my goodness, wow,
Kind
that's a lot.
Died down now, but it's really kind of fun to meet people and see what they're doing. A lot of people buying houses or selling houses and
Yeah,
trying to move.
really.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You get your girls off to school?
They are all graduated. Well, my older one's in grad school, so she's
Yeah.
she's home. She's actually, she's working, did I tell you this? She's working for the Foreign Agriculture Service.
Oh, I believe I heard of, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting to
Yeah,
hear what she's doing sometime.
she's working on like a food security program for St. Lucia. She's in
Oh.
the Caribbean Basin. Yeah.
You know,
So,
food security is such a popular topic now with a lot of the programs.
yeah.
Regenerative agriculture is a big buzzword right now.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting to think about how to manage livestock and crops that way. And of
And
course,
then
there's a lot of criticism too.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine. I would totally imagine. Yeah. And George from the farm, you probably met him.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Emily's boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
They both went to City Year. He's in Denver and she's in Philadelphia, which is a AmeriCorps program.
Yeah.
They're both working there, so it's interesting. So they're both launched and out of the house.
Oh,
Really
that
out of the
changes the dynamic, doesn't it?
house. It's a little bit easier.
Our kids were spent this summer in Greece because our daughter-in-law is Greek. So that's been quite a deal.
Oh, yeah,
They said it was hot over there.
I would imagine.
And they have problems with this COVID as well, of course.
Yeah.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, just coming in from the barn. Sorry, I'll put my video back on in a second. How are you?
We can't detect any odor from this distance.
It's probably safer that way.
Do those horses sweat a lot in this kind of weather?
Yeah, they went in early. They went in at 3. That's when my mom said I was at work, but yeah, they'd much rather be in the barn with their fans and than out in this.
Do you hose them down?
We can, or sponge them off, or
Yeah.
I've got a couple that are dainty. They don't like to be hosed off.
Oh.
And then one that would probably just jump right in and like take the hose from you and deal with it themselves.
Chris, are you on a hike? I think Chris is walking.
You're muted.
I'm not on a hike. No, I'm just outside. But I'm curious, this was advertised as a special meeting. Jennifer, you would have probably the legal answer to all that. It didn't look particularly special given the agenda. Is there something special I missed?
No, it's not particularly special, but your regular meeting was canceled. So it's your
Therefore,
only
this is
regular meetings
special.
are the ones that are filed with the Secretary of the State, and you have to refile it, and you have 30 days in advance notice. So
Okay. All right. Good
Yeah.
enough.
yeah.
Do
So
we know if I know Nancy's not coming. Do we know if anyone else is coming?
I did not hear from anyone. We sent out a good amount of reminders, I thought. I don't know about Diane or,
Maybe they're in conference room B. Maybe Jennifer, you there? You can maybe run down the hall and see if they're there.
Think they might have actually tried to go in person?
I was half kidding, but if she thinks that was a reasonable suggestion, go for it.
Hey, you know, we all do so many Zoom meetings these days. Any
Yeah.
excuse to get up and walk down the
Mm.
hall is probably welcome.
Chris, looks like
So-
you've been working outside.
I have been, I was on my bicycle today a little bit. I made a big dinner and I have not done as much work as I'd hoped to, but I'm trying to be outside some. Had a
They
good
did
walk yesterday. Go
quite a
ahead.
steeplechase last weekend. Did you get involved in that?
In many years ago, I was involved with it, but
Yeah.
I was on the board of WAME for a little while,
Ah,
but I have not been involved. Did you do it?
no, I have a bicycle that hangs in the garage. And that's the closest I get.
Great. Oh,
This weather just drains it out of me. I be
mhm.
out early in the morning, but
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the afternoon is not a good time to be out and about.
You know, we have these in our house where you've been, right, Terry? You've come over.
Yes, we have. Yes.
Yeah. So we have these mini splits, and
Oh,
they air condition and they heat pumps. Air source heat pump, but they also act as dehumidifiers. And what we found is that we don't even use any air conditioning. We never used to use air conditioning. This is like completely, even when we go to like the rare occasions when we go to a hotel, we will turn off the air conditioning and open the windows. But
Yeah.
now all I'm doing is turning on the dehumidifier, and it makes such a difference
Is
in the
that
house.
right?
It's incredible. Yeah.
that's
And
that's
then
really
the
good.
machine, the device itself, like I was outside this evening grilling, and it would just purr a little bit and then it stops. It wasn't cranking away to be an air conditioner. It just purrs away, does whatever it does.
And mainly
Um,
by dehumidifying the air, and therefore it makes it feel better.
Exactly. Holds less heat. So anyhow, I highly recommend one of those things for you because they are really energy sensible and so forth. How's Stacy?
I'm good. Keeping busy. I think same as everybody, right?
Yeah. Yep. I did retire though. I officially retired.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I have a little gig going with the schools, but I'm actually officially retired, which is really nice.
Yeah, I bet you don't miss that drive to Hartford.
No, I don't. I don't at all. It's funny because I have various things like my eye guy is over there, which I did because I'm trying to support, they were supporting my salary. So I should support businesses in that region. And it's like, I don't really want to go over there. So anyway, but there are other things there I like. So
I have not heard, but it seems to me since it's 7:07, you're not getting any other, so you don't have a quorum again. So last time we kind of buzzed through the agenda, and I took notes. Nancy has resigned.
oh,
Very sadly. Yeah, she's been taking care of her grandson, and I think between the farm
Oh,
and
wow.
her grandson, it's a lot.
mm,
So
no, that's very much too bad.
I know, I'm really bummed about that. But
And Diane is flat out this time of year. Yeah.
and I haven't heard from Lori Travato. Or you had a gentleman who
Joe Emenheiser, he texted me the night, it was last week's storm, because he was with the committee on the committees, and like his internet cut out, and then he went back for his interview when his internet came back.
so he applied. I didn't even know he applied.
Yeah, no, he applied and he
Great.
went through the committee on committees, but he was one of several people for multiple committees that was there that night. And they have to deliberate in September and then they will get back to him.
Oh,
So yeah, he was
Yeah,
texting
yeah.
me during the meeting. And then Melissa is the only other one I don't know. Haven't talked to her at all either.
How about
So-
Joe Emenheiser?
Oh, that was Joe I was talking about. That was
Oh,
at,
that's who you're talking about.
yeah, he was at Committee on Committees last week. So hopefully we'll have him starting in September as a regular member. I can't imagine.
Well, good. I'm glad. I know he's a busy guy, like everybody. But be good to have him on the committee.
Mhm.
So Jennifer, is your suggestion that we dash through the minutes in some, I mean, the agenda in some fashion, or that we
Um,
just,
Yeah,
Pull up.
I think we should do that, because there is a couple time sensitive things.
Okay.
So, but you can't approve any minutes, so.
that's fine. So let's skip all that.
Jennifer, would you be able to, because I know we can't send it out as committee members, but on the time sensitive things, could you send another email tomorrow to everybody to let them know about the time sensitive ones?
Sure, and they can comment as an individual, so,
Okay.
all right. Do you,
You want me to like call it to order officially, like,
um,
or can we just keep it low key?
And-
so I'll take some notes. We can just say that we started without a quorum at 7:09.
And is it appropriate to continue recording it, even if it's not the official committee?
Yeah, we should be recording it.
Okay,
So, all right.
So we'll skip right over the approval of the minutes and opportunity for public comment. And the Taste of Mansfield update. Jennifer, you want to fill us in on that, or is that one you want to wait?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Basically, I just included kind of we're keeping meeting minutes at this point. Got to pull them up, remember what I included here for you. So, Taste of Mansfield continues to cook along. We have been working with Alyssa Benoit from Yukon, and she's been a big help with social media. I don't know if you follow them on Instagram or Facebook, but there's a lot of stuff that's happening in terms. She's been focusing on the Farm to Families grant, and that they're let's see, I'll get to that, I guess. We're talking about Celebrate Mansfield, and seeing if there's a way to collaborate with the Agriculture Committee and maybe some other agricultural organizations. And so we did speak with the Downtown Partnership, and we've reserved 2 booths that are close together. So it'll be Taste of Mansfield, and I'm hoping someone will want to do something for the Agriculture Committee. I don't know what that would be, but I think Taste of Mansfield may be a good place to start. That's October 2nd, to kind of find out what they're doing and then maybe build on that. Let's see.
Well, I'll just comment there. I think that the past exhibiting that we did as an ag committee at that event downtown, I felt like it was a great opportunity to talk to the community, and we seemed to be relatively busy through the day. We divide up the time slot. It's kind of fun to talk to folks about what's going on. So I would hope that we could do something in that vein.
We could dust off the display board that we have. I don't think it's really that out of date. It was pretty timeless about what the Ag Committee does and a little bit about agriculture in town. And then I can see if Alyssa would be able to kind of build off that, and in terms of what they want to do for their like activity. So in talking with Taste of Mansfield, I'll kind of segue into Mansfield Grown. Taste of Mansfield's doing a lot of good work around food producing farms and farms with retail outlets. And so, they're working, they have done those CSA videos, and they're, I think they're giving the CSAs a good boost. So, but I think after, I don't know if any of you have followed the Agbotic project. I do think probably this committee needs to start maybe educating things about farming. And I don't know, I have this on the agenda later, but that project was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission, but it was appealed by the neighbors. And so now it is in Superior Court. So we can't talk about it. It's now pending litigation. But it was appealed. So
But does the appeal keep the farmer from starting on the project itself?
yeah,
Okay.
it's, no, they're appealing the Planning and Zoning. He could only do that with a special permit, and they've appealed the issuance of a special permit. So that means he cannot begin his work without that special permit. So
And he only has a set window of time that he got
Each
approved to
season.
get all of his buildings
Yeah, he's gonna lose
done.
his whole season.
Well, no, but from Department of Ag, he had to, like, when he got approval from them, I think he had like 24 months to complete all of his building.
Oh,
And then he'll have to go back and start again with them on
Yeah.
permits if he doesn't get to start soon.
and so
see.
I don't want to, because it's pending litigation.
Yeah, we won't talk about it.
We
if-
won't
No, I
talk
just
about
wanted an
it.
update. I didn't understand what that meant.
Yeah,
I-
so I can, the appeal is public information. If you go on the Connecticut judicial website and you type in Town of Mansfield, you'll see it's Town of Mansfield versus Leonard and some of the other neighbors, but I think Leonard's name is first. So you can look it up and just look at the gist of the appeal. But we kind of, otherwise we can get into, we all might have to go to court. So we don't want to get involved with that. Let our attorney handle that.
I did stopped following along when it passed planning and zoning. So this is the first I've heard of. I just assumed everything was fine. So yes,
Yeah.
let's do some education. And I have not done the last list of education things. It's been a busy summer, but we need to get back on that.
So going to Taste of Mansfield Grown, I've been talking with Margaret Chady. We have all the data. I have a, Rebecca Toms is willing to work with us. My issue is we're in the process of kind of looking at our website, and I think my thought is that we try to combine. I'm looking for these brochures in my office. We have a couple of these. This farms in our community, the value and benefits of agriculture. It's in the Laskin Valley in Eastern Connecticut, and it's just sort of like this. I don't know if you've seen it. It's something I did for the Advocate program, and then there's this one, living next to a farm, or how to be a good neighbor to a farmer in 10 easy steps. So I thought kind of integrating that information along with some of our other, like talking more about the farmland versus and what it means to be a farm business, as opposed to that food thing that Taste of Mansfield is talking about. Because Taste of Mansfield is about local food. I think maybe our angle, so not to duplicate the wheel, is to focus in on, what it means to have farms in your community, farming as a business, how we can help support farms, what different types of farms look like, that type of thing. But I need someone to kind of synthesize all this information, and then we need to put it on our website in a location which does not exist right now, where people will find it. So I reached out to the Downtown Partnership. There is a section on the Town of Mansfield's webpage that is Discover Mansfield, but they control that. So I was thinking we should try to be on there, or I don't know. I need someone to tell me where we can where I can create something and land it, because I don't have an answer to that. And it's sort of not, doesn't really belong in planning and development, because that they're going to look to get a permit. Parks and Recreation, there's not really a place where it's going to jump out. So anyways, that's why I've stalled on that.
Is there like a community? I gotta look at the updated website, but maybe like in Discover Mansfield.
That's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like some like catchy, be a good neighbor type of make a heading, and it could be not just about us or about being a
Well,
good
how
ag
about-
neighbor, but bicycles and all of it.
How about economic development? Do they have
Oh, I can't hear you, Chris.
we keep talking about this being a business. Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Economic development, which maybe is where we should be kind of all the time.
So I don't even know where economic development is. Tools for businesses. So that,
Well, where are you looking when you say tools for business? Is that on the main Mansfield site?
yeah, so the main landing page, if you go there, you've got Discover Mansfield, services for residents, tools for businesses, your government, parks and recreation, and how do I? So we have this new website. It looks slightly better than the other one. The problem is I feel like we need to pause and figure out where this agriculture stuff is going to go. And hopefully the downtown partnership will get back to me, because I do think it belongs in Discover Mansfield.
Well, is that something the Ag Committee drives, or is that something that we respond to when they tell us where that fits best in the program?
I think we have to respond to them. I've asked them, I said, I need a spot for this information. Where can I go? And I don't see any other logical place. So I do think that they're trying to revamp that,
Well, it just definitely seems to me that's the place, that is the area in which to put it, the economic and / business section.
and the thing is, we don't really have a great economic,
Then we need to push for that and help
right?
the economic development people push for that.
So
Yeah.
Jennifer, was Becca gonna do the content for you, or you need help with the content, or what else can
We
we do in the
have-
meantime? You
So
said synthesize it?
I could update this brochure and we could just go with that. The problem is it's going to get out of date really quickly. In fact, it may be already out of date. And so my thought was to do a rack card that talks about, and we need something catchy like farming and farms in Mansfield, or I don't know what it is. I can do a little marketing, but that's not my my training. And then something splashy, and then we bring them to this website, which has the information which we can update, very quickly.
Well, it seems like it's a perfect opportunity to say, to take off on that Mansfield, a great place to grow.
Well, exactly.
And you just say Mansfield, a great place to grow food, a great place to grow crops, a great place to grow, fill in the last word or add a last word.
I think no one is going to disagree with us. I do think this website is a bit of a bugaboo for everyone, because if you look at it, I know how to use it because I use it for all my committees. It's not,
I find it really hard to deal with.
it's terrible, I think. I mean, well,
Yeah.
I know how to use my page because I know where it is, but I even can't even use the community center page.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Jennifer, if the Taste of Mansfield built that Weebly page or whatever it's in, would we be able to do they probably don't want any more of us going rogue on websites, huh?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay, so we could, and we could link it to to this website, but we want them to enter it, I think, from the town of Mansfield. And so even Taste of Mansfield does not have a presence on this web page,
Oh,
right? So it's just, we need help as a town. Like, we need a web designer. We have all this content, we've got some pretty pictures, we've got a good logo, but the next step is to figure out, you know,
How to build it so they will come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like the tedious thing might be to actually start looking at what other towns are doing anywhere and finding some models, because it may just be the lack of imagination that's keeping us from getting there.
well, I think it's a lack of bandwidth, because it has to be someone's responsibility to kind of tell, because I think
Oh, I thought you were saying that the website had been redone.
the website is redone, but it's completely decentralized. So every department does their own.
Yeah, I really don't like it.
Yeah, no, I don't
I
either.
mean, I
but
find it hard to find stuff on there. It's not
It's-
intuitive at
I don't
all.
think anyone's happy with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're, anyway.
Okay, onward, next topic.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we need to just make a decision. Do we pause and we have this one, it's not perfect. Do we pause and wait for this to get to have some momentum and like revisit this? Or do we do something? And I don't know what that something would be. That's not a waste of time and money right now.
Well, then we need to table it, and unless somebody else has an idea,
Right.
because I don't see it
need-
being sensible
I-
to waste time or money on it.
Did we ask
But if you've got a great
Margaret?
idea, then take advantage of it. Yeah, or Margaret, go ahead, sorry.
Did we ask her about doing the social media posts? Because maybe we start breaking out some of the content in that and making regular social media posts. And then when we get an answer from Cynthia, Downtown Partnership, whoever we need the answer from, then we build out the page. But for now, the content is good. And I mean, if we had Agriculture Wednesdays or, you know, however she wanted to, I don't know what her strategy is for the town's social media, but we would be willing to work with what, you know, once a week, once a month, whatever she can give us. We can break that down into bite-sized pieces. We've got good photos of farms we can use. And we could send her a Word document. So all she'd have to do is copy and paste into her scheduling system and set them up.
She would be more than happy to do, if I mean, I don't know if I could work with her to find out, like, is it Agriculture Wednesday or whatever it's gonna be. She would need it ready to just post.
Copy and
So
paste.
we have to do that. Like give her a picture with a thing. And then she would do it.
Okay.
She's happy to do it. She does not have the
Yeah, she doesn't have the bandwidth either.
bandwidth.
Yeah.
She's doing the whole town. So, and while she loves agriculture and she would love to be doing this, she can't.
Can you send me that PDF, Jennifer, again? I'm sure I have it somewhere, but if you just send it to me again, so it's up at the top of my email inbox, I'll work on a document and let's start with some social media posts. And then when we hear back from Cynthia, maybe we can discuss it again at our next meeting and keep going.
So the Dear Mansfield Agriculture PDF?
No, well, we could do that one too. We could flip flop that and the Be a Good Neighbor one. Cause I know
Okay.
we did the Be a Good Neighbor in the Mansfield Connection, I think last year, maybe it's been 2 years
Yeah.
ago now. So can't really recycle it there. I guess I could pull that article again and just take the content out of that too. But maybe we can think of a different angle to get it back into Mansfield Connections and do the social media for now. And if we flip flop with Be a Good Ag Neighbor and Dear Mansfield Agriculture, so every time they hear from us, it's not slow down, be nice, you need us kind of a thing.
So I think that's great. At least we're doing something. Because the other, can you resend me that article you did, Stacy?
Yep.
That'd be great. Okay, that makes me feel better, just to do a little something.
Yeah, at least we got some traction on
Yeah.
something.
I just didn't want to abandon it, but.
I'm just writing that down, sorry. And then the agenda is here somewhere. Oh, so I guess that kind of leads us into education and outreach. So I still have all my notes from the last meeting of all the things we're going to work on that I haven't gotten to. Sorry, it's been quite a summer. We'll work on some more of it. Actually, the Be a Good Neighbor article could probably go to Neighbors paper because I don't think it's gone to them. And I bet Tom would print it because send it to him.
You know, I don't know how many of you are on the Mansfield Connections Facebook page. I monitor it a little bit, but that a lot of stuff gets said about a lot of different projects, from Agbotics to Yukon to whatever's going on. And I guess I don't know how we would interject in that, like information correcting. As a staff person, I do not, I don't think I can get involved with that, and nor do I want to be having a dialogue. But it's a good way to keep your pulse on what some people are thinking and saying. You know, obviously it's a little bit of a vocal minority, but it's one angle that they have. I mean, one group of people and their thoughts.
Chris and Terry, I know you're on Facebook because I know we're friends, but I'm on Facebook, but I never go on Facebook. I don't know how often you're on it.
Well, we get on Facebook all the time. So I do see this Mansfield Connections topics. That's where some of the agribotics discussion has come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to go on Facebook. You guys got me curious. I'm going to go find this page. I'm pretty sure I am a member of it. So maybe when we have some stuff, we could be adding it to that too.
And as an ag committee member, if you don't feel like you want to engage, like there's a lot of people who might be willing to share it. As you know what I mean, maybe you have a friend who's on there a lot, or you know someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I've never chimed in there, but if we want to promote some of our things like this, that's might be a raise awareness of what's happening in your town in terms of the variety of farm establishments that we have.
Right.
Seems like a useful place to me.
It's just messaging it and making sure that if it's like you're not speaking on behalf of the agriculture committee, because
Yeah.
you can't do that. I mean, you have to be speaking as an individual, or yeah.
But I would want to make sure that our prior discussion as an agriculture committee says, you know, here's something that we should push. And, you know, I'd be glad to post something, but I'd kind of need to have a consensus from the committee that was one of the features that we need to do.
You know, like planning and zoning they're strongly encouraged not, because of the ex parte communication with a given application. So it wouldn't be appropriate for them to kind of chime in. But I know the council, like when we were doing our affordable housing plan, Sam Bruder, he engaged to kind of get some information out about that. So I have to understand what the policy is and what committees can do. I mean, as an individual, you can do, but you just have to be clear that you're acting as an individual, not as part of a town board or committee. So I think,
well, and maybe if we did some social media posts, even just sharing them, because, you know, I see a lot of like, what's this growing in my yard? I'm sure if I get deeper, there's some more conversations. But even if we got these social media posts done and then somebody shared it, you know, Margaret put it on the Town of Mansfield page, somebody made sure we shared it to Mansfield Connecticut Connection, and then we just made sure that we went back and monitored conversation and answered
And we don't-
questions.
Yeah, we don't engage. That's probably, yeah, we should probably, as committees, we shouldn't, I mean, not, definitely not as a committee, but even,
Yeah, well, let's not get in a fight, but if somebody says, well, why does that tractor drive so slow? Well, this is why. It only has so much horsepower, and the, you know, the piece of equipment weighs X number of tons, and yeah. So, I mean, giving some science-based answers, getting into arguments, no.
Okay, what's next there, Jen?
well, I'll let Stacy kind of,
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
Stacy,
wow.
sure.
We did the Mansfield Grown. What about Witness Stones project? Terry, have you guys done anything else with that?
I have not been on any meetings with Witness Stone
Okay,
because I'm not on that list. Because they have met,
Pollinator.
have they not? Witness Stones?
I don't know. Pollinator Pathways, you too. Do you have anything on that
Yeah,
one?
that's quite a group. I thought I'd share a little bit of what they're doing. This is a very active group of mainly women. There's a couple of men on it, but they're bent on having a pollinator pathway across the countryside. And I am learning what that means. And basically what that means is that they want to have geography where pollinators can go from yard to yard, from place to place to place continuously. In fact, they came up with a couple of buzzwords like "kiss my grass." That's a cute one, and or "no mow May." In other words, what they are encouraging people to do is to take their grassland and their yards and to put it into pollinator plants. And so we're going to begin to see a lot of that coming out. One of the tools that's coming is let's see. Jennifer probably knows a whole lot more about this because Virginia Walton is one of the drivers of this. Let's see, where's the report from, right? They're trying to get a document put out that, here we go. Pollinated. The goal is to make our region one big pollinator pathway with private, commercial, municipal spaces being pesticide-free and hosting native plants from small flower boxes to curbside strips and large parkland. In other words, it's a pretty good objective to do that. It's going to take a lot of work to make it work, but I think it's a very positive thing.
Sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds very cool.
that project's moving along. It's got kind of a life of its own. Any kind of, I know Terry and other folks from different committees have been participating in it. But basically what I'm going to be doing with Parks and Natural Resources is kind of going through some of our town parks where we already have this pollinator habitat and putting it on that map. And then there'll be criteria for private property owners if they want to add their property, and just to kind of, it's an educational tool basically. And I did pull up the website, and the website's in your packet.
Great, thank you both. What about this planning and zoning regulations?
So this is the time sensitive issue, and basically, I want to pull this up. In your packet, there's a memo from Linda Painter, and there are some amendments that have been initiated to the zoning regulations. because the Connecticut General Assembly has amended the statutes to be more liberal in their requirements for the sale of alcohol and the type of alcohol permits that different towns can issue. And before that was very restrictive. So the town council, I believe they approved this. This happened on August 9th. They have added to their ordinance that the town is authorized to issue farmers market sales permits, so you can sell alcoholic liquor at farmers markets, and a manufacturer permit for wine, cider, and mead. So basically, that the council has already done that, but now we have to have amendments to the zoning regulations that would allow a business or the farmer's market to come in and get a permit, and it would meet the regulations. So what the amendments are designed to do is to add farm breweries, farm distilleries, farmers markets, and manufacture of wine, cider, and mead to the list of uses to which the sale of alcohol will be permitted as an accessory use. Add farm breweries and distilleries to the list of authorized uses in the RAR 90, which is the 2-acre residential zone, and the Pleasant Valley residential agricultural zone, provided they get a special permit. And then add farmers markets to the list of authorized uses in the rural residential zone and institutional zones. And the farmers markets would be permitted by right to sell alcohol, provided the market is located on the site of a government facility or use. Otherwise, if they're not, then a special permit would be required.
So this would mean we could have farm wineries and.
Right. So, and then the attachment goes into, what the the meat of the matter of what the specific regulations will be, the specific regulation.
And those regulations would include the manufacturer protocols, quality control.
Yeah. So
all of those kinds of hygiene and such.
Right. So there's so many things that go into this, and they have to go to I think the state is regulating this. You have the health department who's regulating this, and then zoning just would be regulating this from a land use perspective. Like, are there going to be neighborhood impacts? Is it gonna? That's what zoning does, is basically land use, any kind of traffic, odor, noise, environmental issues related to this. So
you said it's time sensitive. What's the timing and the sensitivity?
So there will be a public hearing coming right up, September 20th.
So when do they need to hear from us? By September 20th?
Yep, and or before the public hearing closes, and theoretically it would be a one-night public hearing.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward from the zoning perspective, and depending on the location, there will be a special permit that is required, which I think is important for this, because if you're starting to have a farm brewery or distillery, there could be neighborhood impacts, and you would want to look at things like traffic, noise, odor, things like that, depending on what kind of facility.
Yeah, those are all zoning things, though, not us per se.
Well, but you're being asked if you agree with changing the regulations to allow this with a special permit.
Okay.
That backs up on compliance according to the regulations, and that's an oversight kind of thing that somebody in the town would need to take on, all the way from hygiene to trash disposal, growing whatever growing crop is involved, access of acquisition of raw material, QC through the manufacturing process, right on through disposal of waste. There's a lot there. And so what you're saying, Jen, is that this is all included in that bucket of proposal. Does the town have liquor sale regulations for spirits, wines and such? Can you sell anything that's legal to sell?
Right, I mean, we don't I'm not an expert on this. The way I understand it is there's I think it's the liquor commission in the state regulates how many permits a given town can have. So, for example, in Connecticut, you can't sell wine at a grocery store. So
okay,
that has nothing to do with the town. That's all state. If you're manufacturing something, I mean, my understanding is that breweries and probably wineries take a lot of water, and then you have to deal with that water. So you'd probably want to look at, like, the health department would get involved with that, or are they on public water and sewer? So that wouldn't be zoning, but they're going to have to comply with all of those things. If they,
I grew up in a town where you couldn't buy anything but 3.2% beer, no wine, no hard liquor at all in the whole county. I don't know if Kansas still does that or not. Well, do we need to acknowledge this in any way?
We can't,
I mean,
as a committee, because we don't have a quorum,
you
so.
don't have a quorum, but I mean, I guess we can sort of take the temperature of the three of you and see if you think this is generally a good idea or a bad idea. And then if you feel strongly about it, then I can do one of two things. I can schedule a public, a special meeting, and we can try to get a quorum, or you can respond and speak as individuals. You can just send an email to the Planning and Zoning Commission in support or opposition. Or you could ask for more questions as well.
Well, I personally don't have any beef, any complaint, any reason to be negative about it. But of course, there's a lot more to learn about.
And I'm generally, you like the idea till you don't like it, but I think in general, it seems like a very sensible, a good direction in terms of local agriculture and encouraging it, local production of food.
Yeah, I'm in favor too. My cousin has a farm winery in Scotland, and when they're done well, it really works well.
I'll convey that to Linda. If any of you would like to speak, submit anything for the public hearing, just send me an email and I can forward that on to Linda and make sure that it's in the packet and the Planning and Zoning Commission sees it.
Okay.
All right, and next thing was Celebrate Mansfield. That's October 2nd. Do we don't have another meeting before then, do we?
No.
I think we should do something. Terry, I know you've done it more than I have. I remember I went once with you. Well, you and I split a shift or something like that. It is a valuable,
Yeah, I think it's a good intersection with the community.
I feel like we should say yes and to tell Taste of Mansfield we'll share space with them, and then have Jennifer initiate an email to the committee, since we can't send it among ourselves, and see who's interested in volunteering. Because I think we had the map and we said find the farm closest to your house, so that was like our activity, and it was part of the thing the kids had to fill, get signed off on. And I don't know how COVID's going to change but we have a couple options.
So they may call the whole thing off.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
I'd like to participate as a committee.
You know, I wonder if Lori, E.O. Smith usually participates, the agriculture education, and it would be great to have her to do something with them and include them in our little, like at least be adjacent to their booth. I
Do
did.
you want me to reach out to Lori?
Yeah, that would be great.
He's close neighbor, so. Let's see where she is in her understanding of what that is and interest. She's probably very enthusiastic. She tends to be really enthusiastic about most everything.
And I think if we can keep like an agriculture, all the ag stuff together and have our own little section, that would be great. And if we
Yeah.
coordinate among the different things, so, you know, our activities build on each other or something, that there could be some nice educational opportunities available for us.
So that is, it's called the Taste of Mansfield, and it's Saturday, October 2nd.
Celebrate Mansfield.
Celebrate Mansfield.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's the thing downtown in the
right.
All right, and then Jennifer, you want to send an email, you know, in that email to the entire committee with comment to planning and zoning and the other stuff, updates. Do you want to see if anyone else is interested in volunteering that day and tell them that our plan is to work with the other agriculture groups and have a similar, and Terry, if you want to reach out to Lori separately, because individual invitations always go way further than the mass email, so.
Okay.
Terry, are you okay if we tentatively put your name on that volunteer list too?
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Thank you. Anything else on Celebrate Mansfield? Reports from members? Either of you have anything you want to report on?
Center. No, I'm good.
I'm okay.
And then what about Eat Local at Mansfield Public Schools? Jennifer?
That's just a communication. I wanted to share with you what Stephanie Richard, now Stephanie Deason, is doing. It's just a great, it sums up what our schools are doing in terms of local food. So I thought you would be interested in it, so I included it in your packet.
Thank you. Yeah, she does an awesome job. We are lucky to have her here in town. And then it's not on the, oh, we can't add it in either. But I know, Terry, you've been the Mansfield family boxes and the grant. And I know I saw a picture of you in at least one of the,
Yeah, that was quite a deal. I didn't know anything about it, except I saw an invitation to looking for volunteers, and I'm in that mode. So I went over on a rainy Saturday, I guess it was, and somebody had gathered from Mountain Dairy and many different places around town, a good quality, fresh commodities. And apparently there is a list of folks who need that nutritional inputs to their family. And they would come by, this was over at the middle school, they would come by and their names were on the list, and there was a certain amount of commodities for each of them based on their family size, I suppose. And we loaded them up with sacks, and they went on home and enjoyed the grub. So it was a very positive thing. And apparently they do it once a month or once periodically. Does anybody know?
It's part of the Taste of Mansfield worked with the Department of Human Services to write a grant to the Department of Agriculture. So it's called Mansfield Farm to Families. And so it is, I think, like 15 families got, we're calling them incentivized shares to CSA. So the majority of the cost was covered. That was one component to kind of get people who may not be able to enter the CSA market or whatever. And then it's 4 distributions of up for 100 families of these food boxes. And so I think we've been doing less than 100 families, so that I think that we will have more distribution times, more than just the 4. And then we've hired this woman, and her job is to fundraise and to make sure that we try to continue this program from year to year. So it's a new program.
Very positive. I'm positive on it.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, thank you guys for working on that. It is a nice service to offer community members. Anything else? I guess we can't really add anything because it's a special meeting. So our next meeting is November 9th, and we will have accomplished a lot by then, just with the social media stuff and Celebrate Mansfield, and we'll have updates on planning and zoning and this brewery wine alcohol thing. So Chris, Terry, anything else?
I don't have anything else.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, Jennifer, I guess we can adjourn or unofficially end.
Just for my action items, I'm going to send you this How to Be a Good Neighbor. And I'll also send you Dear Mansfield Agriculture. And then I'm going to send an email out to the Agriculture Committee members with information about the Planning and Zoning public hearing, and asking them if they would like to volunteer at Celebrate Mansfield. Is that about it?
Yeah, and actually, hang on. I think I have Dear Mansfield Agriculture. That was, is that Carly's that she did that?
Molly Deegan.
Oh, maybe better send it to me then.
I can send that.
Oh yeah, this one's pie charts. But I could pull pictures out of it anyway. Yeah, and somehow the PDF is in it. Yeah, just send it to me because I'm not finding it in my Mansfield
No
Ag
problem at all.
folder. And I will send you social media posts and the article we did in Mansfield Connections in the past, as well as there's something else. Oh, an email up from me as a person on the farm, brewery, whatever, winery thing. All right. Everybody good for now? We'll coordinate. Jennifer, can we coordinate through you for October 2nd, Celebrate Mansfield? Or are we allowed to coordinate like on our own on that, or?
Just send me, if you're going to participate, just let me know and I'll facilitate it.
Okay. All right.
Good.
Thank you. Well,
Great.
nice to
Thank
see
you.
you all. Thank you.
Stay healthy. Stay cool.
Take
Thank
care.
you, Stacy.
Thanks,
Take
Jim.
care.